What is going on, everybody? It's Monday. What's the date today? The 17th. Just burning through the year. Almost going to be 26 here, 2026. Welcome to the show. It is kind of a rainy Monday here, which is real nice. It's been raining, I guess, here all week. I was in Minneapolis, which was absolute hilarious. I'm in Minneapolis and it's like 68 degrees there. I get a fucking sunburn on Friday walking around the town. Who would think that you need to bring sunblock to Minneapolis in the middle of winter, the start of winter or whatever? It's just crazy. Just perfect weather there. I got there on a Wednesday, which by the way, I flew with the government shutdown, and I'm all for the shutdown more if it keeps these airports half empty. My flight was totally empty. I'm risking it. Couple TSA guys, maybe, maybe not. Air traffic controllers, who knows? Going for it. But the open plane, it was like a private jet. Sat on one side for a little while, and then I was like, oh shit, the sun is on this side. Went a couple rows back, sat on another side. It was hilarious. I mean, some of the smoothest travel I've ever had in the last, I don't know, 15 years of being in the airplanes traveling for comedy. I got up at like 4 and, freaking out after seeing the Houston TSA lines that were just rolling on the doom scroll of everybody's Instagram. I can't believe it. It's 2, 3 hours. Fucking scary. I'm gonna miss my flight. So I get up. I never even really went to bed, actually. I had gone to see Queens of the Stone Age do the Catacombs Tour at the Dolby Theater, which I'm going to get into in a minute because mind blown. But anyway, so I'm jacked up on adrenaline from that show. And I go home and I just kind of pack. And I know I got to get up in like 3 hours. So I'm not one of those guys that just stays up. Fuck it, why sleep? I'd rather get 3 hours than nothing because when I travel with no sleep, that's when the mistakes start happening. You leave a charger, your wallet, your belt. You leave something at the TSA or you're just out of it. You're just a floating zombie when you kind of need to be, you know, you alert when you're at an airport. You got to keep your eyes open. There's some freaks there and you can make quick mistakes like leaving your fucking wallet. I can't even believe every time I'm at an airport, every time I always hear announcement. If you left your laptop at the TSA, please come back. I hear that shit every week and I go, oh, he decided to stay up all night. That's what that guy or that woman did. Announcement. If you left your wallet at the TSA, come back. Imagine someone going, nah, I'm good. I don't need to come back for that. But that's what that is. That's the lack of sleep. But anyway, I get there at 4 a.m. I just zoom right through. I got Clear and TSA, the ultimate stuff. But I looked over at the regular TSA, totally empty. At LAX, this is fucking unheard of on Wednesday morning. And then I walk up to the Starbucks. There's no one there. And I asked the lady, I go, are you open? And she goes, oh, yeah. And I go, this is a miracle. I had never seen a Starbucks at LAX with no one in the line. And picked up a shitty little oatmeal, polished that off, and then got on the plane totally empty, stretched it out and slept, and flew into Minneapolis. And I want to say this right now. Thank you to everybody that came out to the shows at Acme. I want to thank the owner, Lewis, who is hands down one of the greatest humans I've ever worked with in a owner slash booker of the club. Hands down, top five humans in the business. This guy is just gold. Hung out with him all week. Amazing man. He's had this club for 34 years. There's a book out that they wrote about him in the club called Home Club that I'm about to dive into. I can't wait to hear his story. What an amazing man, amazing club. And the audiences, if you're new here to the podcast from the shows that you went to this week in Minneapolis, oh my God, you guys absolutely killed it. And you know, there was Wednesday night was sold out, Thursday night was sold out, and then Friday almost sold out, Saturday wall to wall almost sold out. Just really about four sellouts, which was just mind boggling to me. Once in a while, you get somewhere and you go, oh shit, Minneapolis gets it. Also, great radio. Got to see Steve Gorman, did morning radio with him, the great former drummer of the Black Crowes. He's got a new band out called Howl Owl Howl, I think it is, with Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish. And that's pretty damn cool. And also the dude from REM, the guitar player. What's his name? Peter Buck? That's it, right? My brain's working today, kind of. Anyway, check that out. Great to see Steve Gorman. Talk to him a little bit about the Bon Scott Bash. We are doing it. I'm going to have a meeting today at 1 o'clock, but it looks like it's going to actually be on my birthday, February 3rd. I will tell you this, I said it last week. This absolutely will be the last Bon Scott Bash, the tribute. I've been doing it since he passed, a million years of this, and 10 years straight in LA. I did the Delray at the El Rey when I was 50. Minus, we missed a year when my mom passed away. I miss you, Mom, every day. And then we missed a year because of COVID. But other than that, we've been rocking this thing. And it's time to, turn the page, as the Bob Seger would say. And I will start to announce more of the details on that. But it's looking around February 3rd, the Avalon Theater in Los Angeles. And, Burr and I are doing comedy. We got some amazing surprises coming. And if you're on the Patreon, patreon.com/Dean Delray, you will get the first chance to buy the tickets. There's a big VIP section that's amazing. And we're getting that all together. By the way, I want to give a shout out to the new Patreoners. Philip Ellis, welcome. Nick Balkan, welcome. And Kevin Giba, welcome to the Patreon. Patreon.com/Dean Delray. Over 100, I don't know, 180 or so bonus episodes of Let There Be Talk. There will be a new one this week on there. So thank you for your support on that. Okay, so I did Minneapolis. It was fantastic. Went to some great restaurants, had some good food, saw some amazing people at the club, some great comics opened. And Ben and Mo, I don't have their full handles, but it'll be on my Instagram. Back to what I was really starting this story off was I went to go see Queens of the Stone Age. Now, over the last couple of years, I keep saying I only got like four concerts left in me. And I've definitely seen more than four this year, but they were all monumental shows like Jack White doing that pop-up club show, Nick Cave doing a theater tour. This kind of stuff has been insane. And, Queens is out touring this catacombs, stripped down slash reimagination of the classic Queens tunes. And right away, you got to think, well, what is that going to be like? Well, the Catacombs came out. They did a short film on that. You can see that out there and you can listen to the record. And that's about, I think, 28 minutes of mind-boggling, artistic, um, you know, it's just completely a reimagination of this band's sound and the songs. So I was thinking, okay, they'll probably do about 25 minutes of that. It was at the Dolby Theater where they have the Academy Awards, which, by the way, it is one of the most underrated and beautiful theaters in Los Angeles. This thing is insane. I've only been in it twice, and once was a long time ago for some. My buddy was doing sound for the finals of whatever that Simon show is, the talent one. What is that? I forget what it's called. One of those shows where the people come out and sing. Oh, The Voice. That was it. It was that year. This is how long ago it was. It was that guy, Taylor Hicks, I think. He had the gray hair and he won. I went to the finals just to go hang with him and watch that insanity. And he won, and then he just completely gave middle fingers to the industry, like, fuck you. I'm not going to do what you say. I'm not doing the voice tour. I'm not doing the songs you want me to do. I'm going to get my band and I'm going to go out on tour and do it my way. And then there was this big battle, and I'm not even quite sure what he's doing now, but for a minute, he was giant and huge. And you got to kind of respect that a little bit of giving the middle finger. But then I think, well, dude, you joined the TV show. You already know what the fuck you were getting into. You would have been better off if you lost. That's how it looks, on a lot of these shows. The people that lose end up being bigger because you get to use that whole platform of publicity, but you don't have to do necessarily what they want you to do. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about because I don't know what they make you sign. Maybe I'm wrong and you got to do shit for them for years. But anyway, I go to the Dolby Theater, and of course, Josh, absolutely, the whole band, Shoes, Dean, Theodore, Troy Van Leeuwen, everybody in the band is just gold and just family, absolute family to me. And they've been all on the podcast, except for Dean. Dean's getting ready to do it, actually. Just love these humans. And the chemistry amongst these guys over the years is just unbelievable. And I've said it before, and I said it to Josh, and Josh's dad was there, to think about from Caius to where Josh is now and how he constantly pushes himself and he's always trying to, go above the high water mark. It's just mind boggling to think from Caius, generator parties out in the desert, psychedelics and drugs and booze, and really dominating that fucking world, which is the holy grail of desert rock. Every band sounds like Caius, pretty much. They come out and they're so fucking insane and, just original at the time, taking Sabbath, taking some of the grunge, slowing it down. I mean, that's it. That is the desert rock right there. I've seen it copied from everybody. Bands in Japan, dudes in Oklahoma, Canadian bands, New Zealand. They all, they got the curly cord. Usually they got orange amps, a distorted bass, and it's just do 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 do. It's that sound. But to see where Josh is now and to still think that there's people that are like, and I said it last time I saw Queens. I saw Queens, I think, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever, at the Forum, and jaw dropped. Every time I see this band, but this time was unreal. It was like Karen Finley meets Nick Cave meets like Meatloaf. Um, Meatloaf in the movie Rocky Horror just meets Bowie. It was just this insane, incredible performance. Sometimes it was a cappella. Josh came out of the crowd. This is how the show started. He came walking through the crowd with a stool, and there was just this low kind of rumbling sound. And he set it down on the stage. He sat down. He pulled a lamp that was like kind of one when you're working on your car that you hang on the hood. One of those plastic lamps, you click it on. It's got a hook, and you hang it on your car hood, and you're getting down in there, fucking changing the headers. He pulls that off. He lights himself up and he just starts singing, "Hey, oh no, you're there." And I mean, fucking goosebumps, man. Me and Kevin Christie went, and one of the best audiences I've seen in LA in years. And he just starts this show solo. And then there comes Dean with the Wurlitzer, the haunting Wurlitzer, almost like a, um, David Lynch, that full on fucking just that scary music, you know? And that's the start of the show. And then it just starts to go up. It's three acts like a Broadway play. And, you know, slowly introducing members of the band coming out, and Shoes just going another level, bass and guitar, and sometimes doing lead vocal and spitting vocals back and forth with Josh, dressed fully in leather. He looked great. A lot of people would just say, "Oh yeah, Elvis Presley, 68 comeback tour." No, no. I know what look he was going. He was going for that Alice in Chains, Lane Staley third record. I think it's Grind, that video where he's wearing all leather and he's got the bleached back, slick back hair. And I think he's in an elevator. That's what Shoes looked like to me. It was, all the band was dressed to the fucking nines. They all looked great. Josh is in shape. He's slim. He's got a killer suit on. And they continued for the next 2 hours to just blow my fucking mind. And I don't even know. I'm dying to have Josh back on the show. I don't know how you rehearse this. All of the songs were completely reimagined. Strings up there, lots of strings. A tuba, a guy on tuba, ooh, 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 just killing it, man. Troy Van Leeuwen delivering, and Theodore, sometimes just an egg shaker. Silence in the crowd, and he's just getting the rhythm going, or with a stick in a bottle. And you turn around and you just look at this Dolby Theater, and it's like 5 levels, like an opera house. It looks like where they do the Kennedy honors. And it was pitch dark with just little bits of red lighting. And the sound, whoever was doing the sound was another fucking level, man. And Josh constantly in the crowd, just engaging with the audience, just bringing it in, man. It is something I will never, ever forget, man. Holy smokes. I hope they fit. Oh, no, they are. That's right. Hold on. Let me look. They're doing a Austin City Limits taping. Let me see here. Oh my God. This is going to be insane. They're taping it this week, I believe. Here we go. Um, man, that shit is just, it's just, okay. Yeah. So November 19th, in 2 days at the Bass Concert Hall, they're going to tape it at Austin City Limits style. Then they go to New Orleans, November 21st. And then and then that looks like it's it of that Catacombs. And then they start that Foo Fighters tour in August. Foo Fighters, which by the way, Dave Grohl was backstage. It was cool to talk to him. A lot of heavyweights were in that fucking crowd. And I feel sorry for any bands that are out every year just doing the same old stuff because, you know, Queens just raised the bar again. I was thinking about a lot of musicians in that crowd, and they go out every year, and it's kind of a job now to play music. You get to a level, and you go, well, I got bills, I got a mortgage, I got kids, I got cars, I got insurance, I got to feed my family, I got to eat, but they're watching that going, God, I wish I could do that. And they could. They're just afraid to take chances. I've said it over and over, these bands that play the same set list every year. I love the Rolling Stones more than anything. I love the Rolling Stones. Everybody knows that. I worked for them for 4 years. I've traveled the world. I've seen them every tour, since Tattoo You. And I love them, but they take zero chances. They've done some stuff over the years that were cool, like that blues record. That's some chances. Fuck yeah. But I'm talking live. There's so many ideas I have for the Rolling Stones, when I see them, I'm like, um, they've done some cool stuff when I was out with them. Like they played full albums. They tried that and then they kind of bailed and they do 4 songs from the record. But when you have millions and millions of fans, you've got millions and billions of dollars and everything, and you're coming towards the end of life. I don't know, maybe they're here another 20 years. They seem to be fucking just killing it. I saw Keith Richards last week play, and he was blowing my fucking mind. So, you know, they could take some chances. They could go to the Sphere and say, hey, we're going to be here all summer. And one week, we're going to play this record. Another week, we're going to play only acoustic. Another week, it's going to be a train station kind of setup. And it's going to be like a play. You're going to see how Keith and I met at that train station. He had those records in his hand. Keith saw Jagger. They talked and then they started a band. See him sit down and play a bunch of those tunes that they were talking about when they were in that, apartment back in the day. There's a lot of cool things bands can do, is what I'm saying. I don't know if they would work, but there's, I think, a time in your career where you got to take a chance. And I mean, I started comedy at 44. I'm not tooting my own horn, but holy shit, was that crazy. When I think back now, I'm like, God damn, that's just wild. So, Josh, I always get the idea that he is constantly trying to push himself. He doesn't give a fuck about, I mean, if he did, he would just go do Caius for the giant money. All these people, oh, we'll give you $2 million, do Caius at this festival or whatever. No fucking way. So it was so inspiring to see that. And it's constantly, like I said, I think every few months, these giant nuggets of inspiration come flying at me. And it just constantly keeps me on my toes. And I'm paying attention and I'm taking it in. And man, it's cool to have people out there that can throw inspiration your way, whatever it is, a fucking painting, some architecture, car design. You have your eyes open and out of the phone, and you can just ingest just organically amazing inspiration, and it gets you out of that doom scroll and that political battle that the rich people on the left and the right want us to be fighting over. They don't give a fuck. They're just like, let them fight. And they're high-fiving in the back rooms. So thank you, Josh, and all the guys in Queens for the incredible treatment. Always, always treat me well. And the incredible inspiration. Speaking of the Stones, they have just dropped a super deluxe version of one of their great, great 70s records, Black and Blue. Came out in 1975. And always, always say it's an underrated record. There's that run, 75, 78, all the way up to, let me look real quick. You got Black and Blue, you got Tattoo You, you got Emotional Rescue, you have Some Girls. That run is really fucking, I mean, they had big hits, big hits, of course, but Start Me Up. Oh yeah. Miss You. Oh yeah. Beast of Burden. These hits. But man, the sound of the band and the deep cuts are some of the favorite things that the Stones for me have ever done. And it started in 75. And you really get this, let me look real quick. You really get this kind of new sound, kind of inspired by Studio 54, a little disco, a little funk, a little reggae. And you got to think about it. It's totally talk about, reinventing themselves. The Stones took so many chances in the 70s. It's awesome. But, you're coming off of okay, here you go. So you're coming off of 74, It's Only Rock and Roll. Mick Taylor leaves the band. This is their second guitar player that's left. Brian Jones leaves, dies. Mick Taylor, who's considered, for me, the greatest all-time era of the Stones. And then you don't have a guitar player. You go into the studio, you're kind of auditioning guitar players and having different people play. And you do Black and Blue. So then you got Black and Blue, you've got Some Girls, and then Emotional Rescue, and then Tattoo You, and then Undercover. All right? That run for me is really, really fucking cool because I love disco. I love funk, and I love R&B, and Jagger on this era becomes this unbelievable, a lot of falsetto vocal, and he's reinventing himself. And at some points you think maybe Keith is just taking the ride, like, well, I don't know where we're going, but it kind of feels like, they just reinvent themselves and become this whole different thing from when you think from Mick Taylor from like 68 to 74, there's huge records and a total juggernaut of masterpieces in that era. But that being said, Black and Blue for a long time was one of my favorite records ever by the Stones. I used to just play it nonstop. And a lot of it was because I loved Curtis Mayfield and I loved falsetto vocals and I loved kind of wah pedal, that guitar sound of that wah, wah, Even Jerry Garcia jumped onto it with his auto wah and stuff. It was just a sound of the 70s, a warm, kind of groovy sound. As cliche as that word might be, it was a warm, groovy sound. And they open up with hot stuff. They got Billy Preston, fucking crazy. Uh, just the tour was nuts. They had that big inflatable penis and stuff. Penis. And they did shit like Space Jam, and they were just getting funky, man. It was wild. Hot stuff. Unbelievable. Memory Hotel. Oh, goosebumps. Um, Fool to Cry to me is just, it is top 10 Stone song. I Love Ladies. This song is so amazing. And there's like this footage they've been releasing all week on their Instagram of you seeing them rehearse this kind of stuff and just jamming. And you're going, look at how fucking badass this band sounds right now. I Love Ladies is just fucking, oh, it's a smoker. And later, of course, some of this stuff like Fool to Cry, you think back to Tattoo You, and you have, I mean, it's all of that stuff like Tops and and those falsetto-y type of songs on the B side on side B of Tattoo You really sounds like Black and Blue was the, of course, Tattoo You songs were old. We know that now. But the Black and Blue era is the birth of this new Jagger style singing and vibe. He's hanging a lot at Studio 54. He's listening to obviously a lot of stuff like Commodores and Curtis Mayfield and Earth, Wind and Fire, stuff that like Bootsy Collins and I were talking about a couple weeks ago on the show. So they drop this, you get the remastered, it sounds amazing. And then you get this whole thing of kind of studio outtakes and jams and stuff. And it is just fucking unreal. And then you get this live show from Earl's Court that has like Starfucker and Hot Stuff and Fool to Cry live. You Got to Move. Man, what a song. But doing classics with the 75 lineup because now Ron Wood is in the band. And, it's a whole different animal from then on out. And Stone's a lot like the Black Crowes. I've talked about it where, the Mark Ford and the Ed Hirsch and the Steve Gorman era. Uh, the Black Crowes are a lot like the Stones. These people have their eras. And it's mostly geared around who is on lead guitar. Because Mick Taylor, oh my God, how are you going to top that? You're not going to top that. So what you do is you get your friend in the band who's a great player and, electric and energetic. And then you just go do something else. You don't try to mimic what you had. And that's what the Stones did. And here they are, still going strong. Like I said, Keith Richards playing last week at some kind of benefit or something and just blowing my mind. I think he played You Got the Silver. He played some blues songs and he looked better than ever. And, you know, do yourself a favor and go listen to this mostly for the live era. Now, I have had this live Earl's Court show for years. I was a giant bootleg collector for a long time. So a lot of times when these box sets come out, they're all like, for the first time ever, you get Hammersmith Odeon, never released. And it's like, it's a little bit of a bummer to super collectors like myself because you're like, oh, I've had that for years. But on the other hand, it's usually cleaned up and not, some really bad, pressing of that because someone snuck it out of some kind of, quote unquote bootlegging. So it's really cool to hear that all clean and popping off on the stereo. So check it out, Black and Blue. It is out right now, and so is that Black Crowes Amorica Super Edition, which I talked about, I believe, last week, how it is one of my favorite records of all fucking time. But they got a bunch of outtakes, and I was like, well, I've heard all these, and then I go listen to them, like Feathers. Hold on, let me get this. And they're completely different versions of what they put out before. Let me get this here. Black Crows. And it made me even want to talk to Chris Robinson more because I was like, wait a minute, because I told you they put out this Taller Sessions CD years ago, and it's totally out of print, and you can't even stream it or anything for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but they had stuff on there like Pain and Aid and Taller and Thunderstorm 654 and Title Song. But these are actually even different versions from those. And especially Feathers and Evil Eye, which came out, of course, on Three Snakes. And one other one that really I was like, oh, these are totally different versions from the other versions. And Feathers being one of my favorite all-time songs from the Black Crowes, unreleased songs ever, was completely different than what I was used to. So, oh my God, this is even fucking, I mean, it's even cooler. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look on eBay. You know that fucking Tollers is on there. Let's see here. eBay. Um, Black Crowes Toller. Black Crowes. Um, when I sold my CDs, I got rid of that. And now this is here it is. Black Crowes Tall. Holy shit. Some guy's got the box set on there. It's two CDs for $600. Here's another guy with the real price, 50 bucks, 40 bucks. I highly recommend. Here's a an unused new one for $40 on eBay. I highly recommend you get this. Here's one for $12. Fuck. Anyway, the songs on that, it was the Tall Sessions, the Tall Band Sessions. It was two records, Tall and Band, that they never put out, and then they combined them. And let me look at the set list on the song list on that. Hold on here. These bastards don't have the songs on here. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Um, yeah, they don't have the songs on here. So anyway, really a giant surprise to me as I was listening to it on the plane flight to Minneapolis. I go, oh shit, I want to hear Feathers. And I put it on and I go, oh, what the fuck? This is totally different. So, still no luck on Chris Robinson. His wife told me to email the manager. I did. It did not, I didn't even hear back from him. So, who knows? You know, who knows why? I mean, I've had mega stars on the show. Who knows why he's not doing it? I've seen him do some other shows, and I'm just always kind of like, really? All right. Yeah, that's right. I turned into a little bit of a man. Ah, fuck that guy. Really? That fucking podcast over mine? Fuck that guy. God, I wish I could see the goddamn fucking songs. They don't even list it on the back of the CD, and no one puts out what tunes are on this. It's so fucking dumb, you know? Hold on, maybe I can Google it and see what was on it. Black Crowes, Tall Sessions. You ever do that? You type it in and then you realized you didn't even weren't in a search bar. You're just typing to fucking no one. Um, that's what I just did. And man, nothing makes me madder, you know? Okay, tall sessions. Here it is. All right. The Lost Crows. Here's what's on it. A conspiracy recorded, re-recorded for America later. Exactly. So it's all these songs they recorded, and you can watch. There was like a mini doc and everything. Evil Eye, Cursed Diamond, London, P25, Dirty Halo, High Head Blues. This is all the stuff that becomes America, but totally different recordings. Then here's Feathers, which is the one that I'm used to. Nonfiction, Tied Up and Swallowed, Wiser Time, Sunday Buttermilk Waltz, Descending, Low Down, Tornado, great fucking song. Song of the Flat. It's two discs, man. Pain and Eight. Get this. Go out and get this, guys. If you, if you got, I got a CD player in my car. I'm gonna actually just buy this and just put one CD in the car. And you get in the car, and this is the CD that's fucking in there. The Lost Crows. Anyway, couple things. Just saw Walter Payton's 993 Turbo is for sale on Bring a Trailer, which is pretty fucking cool. It's already at 140,000. He has they have the original pink slip with his name on it, the title, and he just went into Chicago and bought this black on black Turbo 993, which is a 911. The 993 is the era. So 95 through 98 is the 993 era. And pretty fucking cool to see Walter Payton's car on Bring a Trailer, which I want to give a shout out to Wob, WOB. If you want to get your car sold on Bring a Trailer, use Wob. This is a dude named Rob that I met and through a friend, and he has absolutely dominated the Bring a Trailer listing. Some of the most insane photos and listings of all time. Every time I'm on Bring a Trailer, you see some guy with his fucking backyard iPhone photos. Now, iPhones take good photos, but photographing a car to get the ultimate money is almost impossible unless you know what the fuck you're doing and you've photographed automobiles all your life. You ever try to shoot your car like for Craigslist ad? It's just it's so hard. You're shooting the inside of the interior, and then you shoot the motor, and then you shoot the rims and tires and the paint, and then as soon as you put it up, people are like, "Can I see a photo of the lug nut in the rear passenger left side? It looks like there might be a little scratch on the chrome." And anyway, this guy is out there in Thousand Oaks. He has a warehouse and a team and a studio in the warehouse with crazy lighting, unbelievable photographs, and a dry ice machine. Now, this is what people are doing now when they're selling their cars. They dry ice the underneath of the car and they get rid of the entire road grime from 20, 30 years of driving on the highway in town. And then the car just fucking looks brand new underneath. It's unreal what this guy does. Wob. Hold on, let me get you his website. If you want to go look at the cars, it'll just blow your fucking mind. It's wobcars.com. WOBCARS.com. And the reason it's called Wob Cars is his name's Rob. And he has a young child. I don't know if it's a girl or boy, I can't remember. But they couldn't say Rob, so they'd go Wob, Wob. And he created this business, which is a parlay off of the Bring a Trailer, which the Bring a Trailer guy's story is fucking unreal. This guy sells more cars, Bring a Trailer, than any dealer in the world, and they have no inventory. It's all people's inventory for sale on an auction platform. It is genius, and so many people have tried to copy it and have failed. And this guy's an actual billionaire from starting this website, Bring a Trailer. And man, watch out. You think eBay's addicting? You get on Bring a Trailer and you just fucking go crazy. You go crazy watching these people do late night bidding. You'll see a car that's worth 50,000 all of a sudden go for 80,000 because people get, caught up in the bidding. And it's fun to watch, and it's amazing to see cars out there that are every day for sale on Bring a Trailer. So check out Wob Cars. It's fucking cool as shit. But if you want to see Walter Payton's car, just go to Bring a Trailer and type in Walter Payton and it should come up. It is an unreal car. Let's see what it's at right now because it was only on for a few minutes and it was already at 140,000. Now, Walter Payton, when I was growing up, was the holy grail of football, you know? Let's see here. Let me see how much it's at. It was just a fucking superstar. Okay, let me see here. Walter Payton. Because I sent it over to a friend and he was like, what the fuck? He's like a football freak, you know? Okay, so here it is. Oh, my phone's off. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm I turned the phone off so I'm not distracted during the podcast. Okay, it's at 140,000. It's only been on one day. It has 8 days left. It's got 89,000 miles. And here it is, 96 Porsche 911 Turbo, purchased new by NFL Hall of Famer Walter Payton. Shows 89,000 miles, full history in Illinois and Florida. Black over black coupe is powered by a twin turbo 3.6. This is the holy grail. It's the last of the air cooled. Let me see if I got a picture here. Oh yeah, you got to see this. So you get this. Let me see here if you guys can see this. You get the title with his name on it right there. Just unbelievable. And then, here's the car photos here. Just black on black. There it is, a turbo 911, which just not being Walter Payton's car, these cars go fucking through the roof. $200,000 all day long. But now you add Walter Payton in there. I mean, a lot of people might not care because they're not football people. But if you're a football guy and a car guy, you're like, I gotta have that fucking car. So go check that out. A little fun times right there. Okay. Couple other things and we'll get out of here. First of all, I'll be at the Whiskey Go-Go tonight with Bill Burr. I'm going to be at the Fillmore 2 nights in December hosting the Death Angel shows, the holiday shows, which is going to be an honor. They're doing the Act 3 records all the way through the Act 3 record. And then some stuff coming up in 26. Going to be at Houston Punchline. I'm going to be at the Blue Room in Springfield, Missouri. I'm going to be at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club in Vegas. A lot of good stuff coming up. And yeah, check all that shit out. I wanted to dive into a couple things and then we'll get out. One is I'm almost at the point now with AI and clickbait and everything. I'm almost at the point of just like, man, fuck these people. We need some laws. So a couple nights ago, I'm just laying in bed and the story comes up. Holy shit, Robert Plant was in Nashville and he was rushed to the hospital. His wife said that he is struggling. They don't know. There was complaints of chest pain. He is in urgent care. It was this long fucking thing. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck, Robert Plant? No. I immediately go to like TMZ. I'm like, fuck, nothing there. I go to like Google, Robert Plant, nothing there. And I just realized you have these fucking monsters who just make up shit. Now I think they go to ChatGPT and they go, write me a story. Robert Plant had a heart attack. Just what would that look like? And then the GPT fucking just pops this out, and then they use a photo and they post it up, and they just do it for fucking clicks. It's fucking insane. Why would you do that? It's the most evil. There's all kinds of shit going. There's fake tours. They're like, Jimmy Page. This is the one next day. So anyway, I look into that. It's fucking fake. The next day, they're like, Robert Plant's announcing a tour, and it looks like Jimmy Page is going to come along for, certain dates secretly. You don't know which one, so you better buy a ticket because it could be your show. And now I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck. I don't believe anything anymore. Oh, Paul McCartney and Ringo are doing a whole tour in 2026, and they're just putting shit up. They don't get sued, they don't get shut down, and they're doing it strictly for clicks to make money off advertising. And now, and then of course they've been doing it with AI with these videos of politicians and saying stuff. And then the people on the left or the right are like, well, I saw your fucking guy Obama. I saw him saying some stuff. They didn't know he was on tape. He didn't know he had a hot mic. Did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. And it's like, hey man, you can't either side. It's political fucking AI video warfare. It's unbelievable. You can't believe anything anymore. Nothing. I mean, literally nothing. You can say anything you want about people. You can say they're dying. You could say they robbed you, whatever. And then just put it on the internet and no one, when I was growing up, if you said something about somebody, like the National Enquirer would put out a fake story and they would get sued for millions, you know? And if it wasn't true, you would get sued, you get shut down, you could go to jail, whatever. And now you just say whatever the fuck you are, and nobody even knows who you are anyway. You're just putting shit out, these fucking bots and money making clickbait, and the clickbait is fucking worse than ever. But this Robert Plant one, hold on, let me get it for you. It really shook me up because I was like, oh my God. I mean, we're literally talking about one of my favorites of all time. Excuse me. And we we had just lost Ace. So I was like, oh my God, Robert Plant, we can't have this guy fucking go. And I mean, I was really, really shook up for a few minutes, more than a few minutes, a good like half hour as I was peeling around the internet. So here it is, right here. It was put out on the 13th. It's the 17th today. This is insane. It's still up. Um, so this fucking spam. So, when I click on it, 800 fucking advertisements come up. For millions of fans around the world, Robert Plant is a rock and roll icon. But last night, the world was abruptly reminded that even legends are humans. Just after midnight, Robert Plant was rushed to a Nashville hospital following a sudden medical emergency that left his family, bandmates, and fans stunned. Details are scarce. The situation is tense. Prayers across social media happened within minutes. This morning, after hours of uncertainty, his wife, Patty Griffin, longtime partner, wife, partner, um, finally stepped forward with an emotional update that shook hearts everywhere. In a soft, steady voice, Patty addressed the public from outside the medical center, hands clasped tightly. Robert is stable. He's exhausted. He has a long road ahead of him. And then it goes on and on and on and on with these photos. And Jimmy Page immediately says, "Oh, you're my brother. I pray for you," and all this stuff. And then it's just fucking nowhere to be found. And it's nuts. It is fucking nuts, man, what's going on in the world, you know? Just to be able to just put out whatever you want. It is really fucking crazy. At the same time, that shit's going on. My new addiction is porch pirate bombs. I can't stop watching these guys that go up to steal people's packages, these Amazon packages and shit off people's porches, and they have these paint bombs in them. So they run to their car, and then the person's in there and they see it, and it just blows red paint or yellow paint all over them. And oh my God, there's thousands of them. I'm just hooked on these porch pirates getting, and it's crazy the people that are stealing the shit. It's old ladies are stealing. I saw a handicapped guy. He's just driving. He gets out with his fucking walker, steals some guy's package, full blue paint bomb. And then there's other guys that are doing these tricks where they they put like a fucking compressor under a seat and the guy steals a bike and the compressor blows the seat off and they get like the seat post in their ass. Oh my God, I'm hooked on these porch pirate bombs. Insane. And sometimes you'll hear the guy behind the door like, "You got what you deserve, motherfucker. Quit stealing my packages." And they're like, "Fuck you." It's the candid camera, homemade ultimate porch pirate, just fucking comedy, man. You do not want to miss these videos. Porch pirate, just type it in on Instagram and laugh for a few minutes. That's where we're at in the world. Just sitting home, laughing. All right, I love you guys. Have a great week. Go listen to that Black Crowes box, Amorica. Go listen to the Stones one. Check out Jay Buchanan's solo record. It just came out. That came out Friday. Fantastic. The incredible Rival Son singer. He's got a beautiful solo record out. And see you at the whiskey tonight if you're there. We'll be telling jokes, Bill Burr and I. Also, Bill just dropped a Bakersfield date. That goes on sale at noon today. So if you want to see Bill at Bakersfield Fox Theater, get your tickets at noon today. And you want to see me anywhere, go to deandelray.com. And most important, watch my special. If you've seen it, watch it again. Share it with your friends. 5836. It is on YouTube. First special ever shot in a cave. Keep the candles lit. Thank you. Leave a review and some love for the podcast also on iTunes. I saw somebody did it. Hold on. Somebody did it last week, and I want to just give them a shout out because it's crazy. Every week I ask people to leave a comment, and it's really hard to get people to do it. I it takes like 1 second, and I get like one a month. And if you understood how much this helps the podcast, it blasts it up into the top 20 every time. Let's see, somebody just left one, and I just want to give them the proper glory. Here we go. Black hole sun, won't you come? Can't stop singing that song. Here you go. Somebody left it. It is this is a simple one. Ben Lore. Great podcast. Dean is the best. Thank you. Here's another one too. Oh, Pat MC 126. I love the guy. He's a big Delraiser. Dean delivers on a weekly basis. It's my must listen podcast every week. Awesome guest, and his solo episodes are awesome too. Feels like sitting around with friends talking about cool stuff. The best around. Keep the candles lit. Anyway, two this week. So thank you so much. Great. And it was also great to see a lot of Patreoners at the show in Minneapolis. Once again, thank you, Minneapolis. Thank you, Lewis, the owner of Acme. Thank you to all you who tuned in today. Keep the candles lit. See ya.